going on, guys? Aquanet back in another video, and we are finally here. I don't know why the light is so dim. Let me see if I can. There we go. Yeah, there we go. I'm looking a little majestic right now, but don't mind me. We are getting into the end of the year content, starting with the best features of the year. This seemed like a solid place to start, as it's nothing too crazy and it doesn't reveal too much about the rest of my end. I kind of want to reveal the end of the list content slowly, probably ending in the crescendo of our artists of the decade so far, right? And features is a cool way to start. Funny story, I was actually going to put this in my New York Awards section, but there were so many features that I decided to just do a top 10. Now, these are features that I absolutely gushed over this year, features that surprised me, and features that I was guest verses that I was super impressed by. Shout out to all of these artists. They really did their thing, and I'm so proud of everybody on this list. Get some criteria at the way. The first thing is going to be your performance. This is the most arbitrary one, but generally, how good was your performance? How good were you compared to the rest of your discography? How good were you in comparison to the people around you? And just generally, how impressive was your performance, right? Next is going to be, how well did you go with the song? Was it just two niggas rapping on a song and, it was sort of basic? Did you go with the theme of the song? Musically, did you mesh well with what was going on? And thirdly, and this is something I use as kind of a weed out process, is how easy was the feature for you? Was the feature challenging to you? Were you used to this is this something that we can expect from you? I feel like to a certain extent there were a few features on here where they were really good, but overall I feel like generally the artist was really catered to on the song, and it felt like kind of the perfect recipe. And to me, that just doesn't seem as impressive as someone going on to a whole different production style from what they're used to and still doing what they do. So yeah, with that being said, let's get into it, and I'll kind of talk about who fits what category as we move forward. Starting off with number 10.
He say that I'm good enough, got him out think about shit that I should've known. So I tell him it's one of me, he making fun of me. His girl is a bum to me.
Boys a Liar Part 2, featuring Ice Spice, Pink Pantheress, as the main act. What can I really say about this? This was a bit of a surprise. At the time, we really thought Ice Spice was going to be kind of siphoned off to the drill scene and the Bronx drill aesthetic of everything. But this showed a real bounce to her music, and while I feel like she definitely perfected it on Deli, this was her first foray into dance music, in my opinion. This may not be the most lyrical feature ever, and I also feel like, given the beat, it was definitely something that Ice Spice was clearly meant to be on. While it wasn't inherently a drill beat, that bubblegum bounce of the beat absolutely laid a tapestry for Ice Spice to go crazy, but she filled the role so well. And this is what I talk about when I say goes with the song really well. Ice Spice provides her own personal value without trying to be like Pink Pantheress, but still fits into the song perfectly. So overall, I thought Ice Spice did her thing. I'm super happy because she really redefined what we all thought she was capable of at the time. And yeah. Number 9, and this might be low for some people because a lot of people have this as the best feature on Utopia.
Whip the cocaine to the pop bus. You was on the porch, I was locked up. Two-tone Maybach truck with the Maxwell.
We're gonna go with Westside Gunn on Lost Forever, and honestly, this might be the best feature on Utopia. Westside Gunn is giving incredible bars, amazing vocal inflections. He adds so much to the song and fits perfectly. I really enjoyed his lines. I really enjoyed his ad-libs. Wish he would have had ad-libs throughout the whole thing. Honestly, the only two reasons it's not higher is because honestly, if you know anything about West Side Gun before Utopia, you'll know that this is kind of a par for the core performance. This is not really anything special from him. Also, I do got a dock point similar to Ice Spice because this aspect of the beat was given to him by Alchemist, a producer that he's really comfortable with. So to me, it's not nearly as impressive as some of the other things on this list.
Traumatized, not the type that'll really let the drama slide. Shell cases, I'ma let the llama fly. That's the reason I don't fuck with your mama's side.
We are going to have Hole in My Heart by Jadakiss. And honestly, 7 and 8 are kind of interchangeable, but yeah, let's get into it. This was definitely on the more surprising side, I would say. It definitely wasn't a song I was expecting a Jadakiss to hop on, but he really did his thing, and especially when we talk about going with the song, lyrically, he went with the song really well. The general vibe of the song is, you know, mixing the street life with love and how those things intertwine, and, you know, an honest look on what the dangers could be of being involved romantically while you're in the street. And Jadakiss provides a really good perspective on what this is like. Obviously, you know, his voice is still really raspy, and so him here talking about love in general is going to be a little bit off-putting to me. But overall, lyrically, he really matched what TJ was putting down, and low-key had a better performance, and I was really, really impressed with his bars. And so, yeah, overall, Jadakiss 8, not a bad placing. Number 7.
Here we go again, you talking like you ain't damaged. Getting around your friends, now you acting like you can't stand me. But we know the real, that's not how you feel.
Act Like You Know, featuring Capella Gray. I have personally been on a Capella Gray renaissance. As someone who was not really a big fan of him when he blew up, I've really been enjoying what he's been bringing to the table over the past year. And I feel like I very much understand his music. Act Like You Know is probably the best chorus in, you know, New York this year. The vocal inflections, the vocal passages, and the melody chosen was super, super strong. But I give this extra points because he went with the theme of the album very, very well. All the features on Lady London's Soul were super, super impressive because they go with what the theme of the entire album is. And, you know, given when I talked earlier about Act Like You Know as a song and how it plays into the dynamics of, you know, feeling sort of unappreciated by a Leo because of how much you did for that person. I really appreciate him filling in that context. I think he did a really great job, and definitely go watch my Soul review for more explanation on why he did his thing. Next, at number 6.
This is for the girls on the grind. This is for the girls that'll work full time. This is for the self-made girls. You're the self-paid girls, but I never let them change your mind. Girls who fly.
I'm going to go ahead and give it to the girls, speaking of Lady London. I'm going to kind of composite both of them. I definitely feel like Lady London had the strongest performance. But first off, Lola Brooke went absolutely crazy. It's so interesting to me how a voice that you really would expect to be good for only one kind of sound really can transition into more R&B centric cuts so well. One thing I really like about both of these ladies when they're doing their thing is that they go, like I said, similar to Jadakiss, with the song so well. I really like the affirmations by Lady London. It was a really great way to cap off the verse, and overall, despite it seeming like it's gonna be like some crazy mashup crossover, it ends up working out really well. Shout out to Sierra for enlisting two of the best New York lyricists for this collab. That was really, really impressive. So now we're in that top 5, and this is where we start getting into features that are truly transcendent. Features where either the lyricism or the performance or whatever were just truly, truly unbelievable, and I was just beyond floored. Starting off the top 5, we've got...
They was laughing, but we was smart, drug trafficking. We was sharks. I had to chase the paper down till we trapped the money in vaults, kind of crazy.
a very, very, last minute entry, Oprah and Gayle featuring Benny the Butcher. And Benny the Butcher shows up on features, man. I was so impressed with this one. He absolutely did his thing. And, I feel like I love what Benny did to the song. The reason why I put this so high is because Benny pushed the rest of them to make that song better, right? So to me, it's not just Benny being on the song, laying down an incredible verse, but it's also, you can tell how much respect the other artists have for Benny, that they're upping their rhyme schemes, they're upping their bars, right? It made for like this truly just amazing display of lyricism throughout the entire song. And while I definitely feel like, this was just a day in the office for Benny the Butcher, the fact that he really elevated two of the best MCs to ever do it in 2 Chainz and Lil Wayne, I gotta give him props for that. And sonically, the song is pretty solid as well. Number 4, I'm gonna go with
Put a ribbon on me, I've been acting brand new. I ain't smoking on no Zylo, bitch, I'm smoking on you. Put your bestie in a pack and now I'm smoking her too. I've been ballin' so them hard, could've went to LSU.
Put It on the Flow, featuring Cardi B, main artist Lotto. And honestly, I gotta say, like, this is something where she exceeded my expectations. I wouldn't say that Lotto, I wouldn't say that Cardi B necessarily outperformed Lotto, but, personally, I was definitely not expecting it to be as close as it was. I would honestly put the performances on even. Cardi B just came with this absolutely vicious flow. And every single bar, it was like there was just no filler, all go. This beat felt like it was made for her, and she just killed it. I love how she redid the chorus, and redid the one-liners to fit her. That was a super, super good touch, and adds something that you'll see in these last few entries, something I like to call chemistry. I felt like the chemistry between Lotto and Cardi B on this song was super, super strong. Now we get to, and this I would say is probably from like a writing bar for bar standpoint, I think this was the most impressive feature. We'll get into why it didn't win, when we get into the winners. But number 3, I gotta go with
I make them salty motherfuckers uncomfortable. Cause when they see that dog in your heart, they wanna muzzle you. And Weez used to tell me them niggas is drinking honey proof, thinking that they can fuck with you. So give them more lines and see it sucker soup.
The Chosen. I think it's Chosen by Jay Skis. The amount of dense bars on here, the amount of one-liners. If you got that dog in your heart, they wanna muzzle you? What? No, this was absolutely different. I cannot believe that, this song even exists. It's so insane. The chemistry between Conway and Skis. And it's interesting because while as good as this song sounds, it somehow doesn't feel like a leftover from Pain Provides Profit. It feels like a song that fits on Won't He Do It? And, you have these like beautiful saxophones in the back just going and going and going and allowing them to just flow beautifully on this song. I really like the back and forth rapping that they gave us. It felt like just two guys going crazy in the studio. Just, hey, let me say this. Hold on. Let me say this. And it made for a really enjoyable jazzy groove. Overall, like from a lyrical bar standpoint, I think this for me had the most amount of crazy lines, and like I really enjoyed what Jay Skeet has to offer. Honestly, like I wish I could put Jay Skees as the best new artist of the year, but I know he's not like new. I'm just sort of discovering him for the first time. But this really was a great introduction to Jay Skees. Along with his album, along with his overall, his own album, Pain Provides Profits. But yeah, no, he absolutely killed this verse, and I highly recommend. This is the most underground one I'm going to talk about probably, but I highly recommend everybody go lock in because this feature was absolutely crazy. And the top two, you probably know what the top two is. I cannot hide my own fandom, my appreciation for these artists. But it might surprise you who I give one and who I give two. Number two.
Eating my spinach, they tried to clone my image. They burnt they London bridges. None of them bitches British. I know they know the difference.
Goes to Princess Diana featuring Nicki Minaj, and holy crap. This one really, first of all, gets credit from me because Nicki, up to this point, I really did not think that she was able to rap on drill beats. I didn't think that that was something that she was able to do, but change the BPM, change the tone of the drill beat, and, give her some better bars. And oh my goodness, she left Earth on that song. This was just such an impressive display of lyricism. It was so New York to me. Let's keep it crack. Like, if you keeping it crack, like, it was just so, the New York accent was so strong, and that's what you got to bring when you bring on a song with Ice Spice. This is a New York classic, right? Or at least it's, that's what it sort of built up to be. It was so cool that Nicki came down to even do this feature. She doesn't always do features with the budding young women rappers, and so it was so cool with Ice Spice, really just getting a lift off. To get that co-sign from Nicki was super, super awesome. And again, this was really cool because it changed my expectations of what I saw Nicki to be as an artist, and really changed what I thought she was capable of doing on drill beats. This was super, super impressive. Every bar, I mean, at this point, there was no filler, as there was with the last couple that I was saying. And I would say that especially, on this song more than any other up to this point, I really feel like compared to the artists around her, she really showed up on this song. Really, really showed up. So yeah, absolutely. For the reasons I just stated, Princess Diana, number two. But number one.
Kitchen lights, kitchen lights. Them bricks shine different under them kitchen lights. That money look blue under them kitchen lights.
And all my Griselda fans, you probably know where this is going. While I did not like the album, I would be remiss not to mention the greatest feature of this year, Kitchen Lights, Stove God Cooks. Oh my goodness. I don't even know what the hell to say that this feature. Westside Gunn has an amazing verse on his own, but Stove God Cooks really brings this song to its peak sonically and lyrically. It's one of the strongest choruses of this year. That, along with Capella Gray, we can go back and forth on that. But the gospel vibe is not something that you would ever expect Stove God to be doing something with, but he fits into that pocket effortlessly, and that is truly amazing. Not only that, but his verse on here is absolutely crazy. All the one-liners were absolutely incredible. For me, this fundamentally changed how I understand Stove God as an artist. It was truly amazing to see him attack this kind of production, because it gives me a lot of hope for the versatility of Stove God Cooks in the future. While I wasn't crazy about And Then You Pray For Me, this was absolutely a standout and clears as the best feature of the year. Shout out to Stove God Cooks. And yeah, that's the video. Hope you all enjoyed this first top 10. Really enjoyed making this one. Hopefully I didn't talk for too long. Honorable mention goes to all of the really good Coi Leray features that we got this year. She almost made the list, although I just kind of felt like Coi Leray, a lot of her features felt a little too easy for her. That's the only reason I didn't put her on the list. But she really did do her thing, and I think that people are sleeping on her ability to actually rap well, because she really shows that on these features. Yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and with that being said,